Zacchaeus was a wee little man, and a wee little man was he. He climbed up into a sycamore tree to see what he could see. Now to think of it, that sounds a lot like Gilligan's Island theme song.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Terrible Tirades, a podcast that allows old friends to laugh, banter, get serious, or none of that. As always, my name is Sean, and I'm joined by my co-hosts Gail, Paul, Adam, and Christian. How are you guys doing?
Yeah.
All right.
I think that might be the first time I allowed you all to actually say something after I did the quick intro. But today, we are going to be talking about music. I'm going to start it by saying George Jones. Who is familiar with George Jones?
Our grandfather.
I mean, familiar in what sense? Like,
Familiar
I know
in
who
the
he
sense of
is.
you know him, like you know the name. Do you know like what he's saying? Like
I know the name, I know the style. I don't know if I could tell you one song that was for sure like written by him.
that's fine.
Is
So
he kind of
George-
like Roy Orbison ish?
No.
What the fuck is a
Think
Roy
Garth Brooks,
Orbison?
but older.
Roy, you don't know Roy Orbison?
Roy Orbison.
No.
Oh yeah, Roy Orbison's great. Pretty Woman.
Yeah. And then the crying, that shit.
got it. Love
He
it.
wore the dark
Mhm.
sunglasses. No, I
think
don't know
there's-
George Jones. I'm sorry.
There might be a couple people who wear dark sunglasses, but so George
No
Jones,
one does
right?
like Roy Orbison.
When I hear or even think of any George Jones songs, I think of a very, very specific memory of when I was driving my grandfather to one of his VA appointments. And he and I sang George Jones together the entire way there. And it was pretty influential because it is a very fond memory of one of the last memories I have of my grandfather. And it was one of the last memories I have of him having any kind of coherency before dementia, Alzheimer's, all the bad things happened. And I bring that up not to bring the mood down, but to say that, pairing music with significant memories and events is definitely not a new idea. According to Dr. Sharam, probably butchering that, Heshmat's article, Why Does Music Evoke Memories, published in Psychology Today, music, quote, music is one of the few ways to penetrate Alzheimer's brain. Those suffering from dementia can retrieve vivid memories by listening to music they heard when they were young. Despite profound memory loss and even a loss of knowledge about who they are, individuals with dementia often show a remarkable memory for music. Research shows that self selected music can trigger positive memories they might otherwise struggle to recall. I say all of that, just to say, or to ask rather, what are some unique songs that you have that is associated with a very interesting, or maybe not interesting, maybe what might seem like a mundane memory to us or an event to us, but it has a very significant impact for you? And what is that song?
So, one, I shudder to think what songs they're going to be playing to us in the Alzheimer's homes to get us to remember our youth. It's not, I guarantee it will be less classy than George Jones.
Blink 182. In sync.
My life into prison. But, no, I remember, Christian, you were there for this one. We had a guy that we worked with at Domino's called Will. And one day, we gave Will control of the store radio. And so he just started playing the exact same song on repeat for 8 hours. It was like an easy listening soft jazz song. Key Largo by Bertie Higgins. 8 hours. On repeat. Every time it'd get done, he'd be one more time, just rocking his way over there. I was apparently the only one that got the joke, that he just wanted to piss people off. But I mean,
Yeah, I was
I
one
thought
of
it was
those people.
hysterical. Oh yeah, I'm sure you were climbing the fucking wall.
That's not a good memory for me.
It was a great memory for me. I started blasting it downtown in Morgantown, right next to WVU with all the college kids who would have no idea what the fuck a Bertie Higgins even is. To the point where I'm breaking my speakers on my little Hyundai Elantra. Just ridiculously loud. Sailing away to Key Largo. I actually started, because there were a bunch of kids leaving a rave at one point, and they thought it was hysterical, so they started dancing with their glow sticks in the middle of the intersection on the top of High Street, and the cops had to come and break it up. I was stuck there for like 10, 15 minutes just playing it on repeat while they did their rave thing, and I thought that was great. That was hysterical.
That's quite unique.
Really renewed my faith in these kids,
It's interesting that you talked about riding the car with your grandpa. That made me think of my grandpa. This is totally out of my wheelhouse, but he loved some old, like, I don't know if you would call it gospel or just like patriotic music, but he loved the song Battle Hymn of the Republic. And we would play that in the car all the time. And that's just like, I don't get into any of that other stuff, but when that one comes on, I always listen to it. I like it. I know all the words. And
Battle
to what?
Battle Hymn of the Republic.
Battle Hymn of the Republic.
Sounds like something off of Star Wars.
You probably heard it. It says, "Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord."
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good one.
You probably heard it at like military ceremonies and stuff. I was big in that.
Yeah, I know.
Isn't that the one that the paratroopers in World War II adopted and changed into something about a dude that didn't open his parachute correctly and splattered on the ground?
And he ain't gonna jump no more. Yeah, yep, that's the one.
I think there were a lot of parodies of that song, actually.
That's because it's a banger, dude. What are you
There was
talking
one about
about?
like bears running through the yard, and it was like "Glory, glory, how peculiar," maybe something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But to throw it in a completely different direction, another song that I have strong memory associated with is "Say Anything, Alive with the Glory of Love." That's because I lost my virginity.
No, that's
to
a
that
good
song.
You lost what to that?
Throw that on. My virginity.
Oh.
His keys.
Oh, I thought you said parakeet.
You lost my
Parakeet.
I'm like, when
parakeet.
did you have a parakeet? I guess that would explain why I never knew.
Yeah, he lost it. While he was having sex, he lost his parakeet.
That's a great
That
song.
Mixed emotions on that one.
I don't know why.
Glorious
that's what I heard.
tragedy. How old were you when you were listening to this tune? Like, what even was this?
You don't need that many details.
10?
What color was the carpet that was in the room that this happened in,
What color was the carpet in that
Like,
apartment?
really
Paul?
go into this.
I don't know. Probably
Gray,
like
right?
a puke
Bit gray.
color. I don't know.
What was the
Maybe
woman's
gray.
name?
What,
Was
did
it a
Ron live in
woman?
it first or something?
I don't know if I want to go that far.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
what-
the
that
way.
was the joke.
At least it
Um,
wasn't to the Battle Hymn of the Republic.
No, that would be mixed emotions. Like
That
thinking
would-
of your
Yeah, pretty
grandpa
much.
and then thinking,
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
that would.
This one's for you, Grandpa.
Is there anything more American?
My grandpa would be proud, man. I'll tell you that.
I lost my virginity to my country.
wow,
My
that went
grandpa's
down
a
a
horrible-
rabbit hole.
I'm sorry. That
That
I
was
don't even know what that
Why
means.
are you sorry? That shit was fire.
All right, who's got another?
I don't have a particular song per se. Can I go with an album? Like
Yeah.
the White Album by the Beatles. I just remember listening to that with my dad a lot. He had it came on 2 cassettes, big old thick case there, and I remember a lot of the songs. I just listened to it the other day, recently, actually, just driving around. And for some reason, like I remember some of the songs, but the thing that sticks out to me the most is there's this one weird track near the end, Revolution number 9, where it's just like a bunch of gibberish and like I don't know if it's Paul or who, but or maybe it's Ringo. He just keeps going number 9, number 9, number 9 with just like
Was
weird
that
ass
the
shit in the
end
background.
of the album or something? Like the track at the
The
end that
next
was
to
a
the
secret
last
track?
song, I think it is. Yeah. And also, I just caught. I think this was something it was from one of the conspiracies where they were saying that like Paul's actually dead. And I remember in that one of the songs on there, they're like, "The walrus is Paul," and somehow somebody thought that meant that he was dead because some symbol that some religious symbol is like a walrus for death or something. Maybe
Didn't they say something about the number 9 thing was related to that conspiracy too? Like some kind
that would make sense.
I don't know.
They were saying just like, oh, they were guilt ridden and leaving all these clues. Like there was like an open palm above his head on Sergeant Pepper's album and stuff. We were going to talk about conspiracies, but we went with music instead, and now we're back. We'll do both. All right, I'm done. Sorry.
Tied it all in. Christian, you got one?
I probably have a lot. I just can't think of them. I mean, I remember learning about the song Man in the Box by Alice in Chains at the same time as discovering that LimeWire was a thing.
LimeWire.
Cool. Because it's probably one of those songs that I've heard before but never thought about. But I was in the living room and I just remember hearing it loudly in the other room. And it's probably like I was probably really young. And I go in there and it's just my mom jamming out to that song because she loved it when it came out. And then she's just like, "Here, sit down and look at this amazing thing. You can just download whatever song you want."
With no repercussions whatsoever.
So did she download that from LimeWire? And then if the answer is yes, my next question is, did you hear more than 30 seconds of that song? Because usually when I downloaded shit off there, it was just like the fucking thing was on a loop.
Yeah, he downloaded and heard more than 30 seconds. It was his favorite song. Get it? It was labeled your favorite song.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, the whole song was... I downloaded many songs from LimeWire.
It is a good song.
Did anyone else have the experience of downloading a song from LimeWire and getting an entire song, but not the one that you downloaded?
I did,
like
but
they
I
just
didn't
label
know it until later. Like, because I was trying to get this song, and I didn't know. I knew the title because I had heard it. What was it called? Your Angel or something, and it was by. They said it was by the band Unwritten Law, but that was just like a common thing. Like one person mislabeled it, and then a bunch of people downloaded it, and they just kept it that way because they didn't know any better. But it's actually by a band called Slick Shoes. So
for all
happens a lot.
There were little
Happens
things
a
like
lot.
that all over LimeWire.
I think my favorite with LimeWire was me and Evan, when we were in middle school, tried to download Tenacious D because we thought they were hysterical. And so we downloaded what was labeled Tenacious D, but it actually turned out to be a rapper called Delicious D. And I kid you not, all of his material, every single bit of it was about scat porn.
Oh, man.
Like eating poop.
That's
Which at middle school was just the best thing ever. We're like, it's like dropping a quarter and finding, the keys to Bill Gates' palace.
How can you say you love her if you can't even eat her
I
poo?
have to fucking find that and edit it into the goddamn... It's fine. It's cool. It's fine.
I found the source for that, and I refuse to reveal it to, reduce the degeneracy in the world today.
Please.
I need to know what it's from, actually.
No, you don't.
Oh, okay.
I wish I didn't know.
Okay, I don't want to know. Don't tell me. Don't ruin
Is that
it.
bad?
Let's just say that's a high point.
God.
That scene.
Paul,
Hmm.
do you have any negative memories associated with the Beatles songs after the night that we probably almost went to jail playing Beatles Rock Band?
Hey, stop that
I-
clicking noise up there. I'm tired of hearing
I
the
have-
clicking noise.
Yeah, I just have negative memories of our downstairs neighbor just like banging on the ceiling or calling the cops at any little thing instead of just like, coming up and saying, "Hey, can you guys be quiet like a regular dude?" He's a cranky old man, I guess, but I don't know. I was thinking the other day, I was like, you know what? I don't really have bad memories with it. I mean, I kind of do, but I was thinking the other day, I was like, we never got to really play that game as much as I wanted to because of such a buzzkill that night. So like,
Yeah, it was
honestly, I
don't know
would
if
like
ever
to have
went
the
back and
chance
beat
to
it.
play it again.
Yeah.
Like, I guess we got to find fucking Brian. Not the other guy though.
Yeah.
He can
Well,
stay
that's-
far away.
Can't
We
can't
can
find him
simulate him
anymore.
for you.
Can't find him anymore.
What the hell does that mean? He's not in jail.
Well, he's not a he anymore. That's as far as I'll go.
Well, am I thinking? You know what? That's a conversation for after the podcast. We'll talk about that later.
That's called cancel
Yeah. Anyway,
by all 3 people who listen to us.
We'll just chop that part off.
I mean, we'll see.
That sounds like exactly what he did.
I didn't mean to do that.
I saw your
Honestly,
face when you realized it. That's funny as fuck.
I don't know why I put it that way. There's a
You
bad little man inside my head telling me to
Now
do
you
things.
probably have to cut something. I thought what I said was discreet enough, but
Oh man, and
Yeah.
here you are going to witness church events, and you had that little demon in you this whole time.
There's none of that. Don't say that shit.
So, how has music impacted your life? Like it for me, I depend on some like really hard-hitting songs to get me like really pumped up in the gym or something, or I depend on an uplifting song to get me out of a funk sometimes. I know sometimes only a really good song can get me out of a funk. I can think of numerous occasions where music has completely and utterly changed the outlook I had on a situation, by being able to pull me out of my own head, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? So what are some impacts that music has had on your life, and like what are some of your go-tos? Let's say like if you're in a crappy mood, or whatever the case may be.
I listen to a lot of like what the kids would call emo. I would probably call it like pop punk, most of it, because it's sort of more bouncy than something like there's a whole we could go hours and hours debating what emo actually is. There's different camps what they think it is, but
Hawthorne
Gay
Heights.
goth.
no, if you talk to some people, it's just like, Sunny Day Real Estate and some little band from DC that only
Nah.
somebody's cousin knows. But yeah, like, Census Fail, My Kim, that kind of stuff.
I think My Kim is definitely emo. They're poppy emo though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're very mainstream emo though. Like they're not hipster
Yeah.
emos,
And
Yeah, we
I
got
do,
punk and pop punk. Why don't we have pop emo?
We do, they just don't call
probably
it that.
do, it's not labeled, yeah. I like to listen to metalcore when I'm angry. It's sort of
Yeah.
some frustrations.
Interesting. I
You
listen to
probably do.
metal frequently myself for emotions.
Yeah. Yeah, that's me. When I'm angry, I would listen to metalcore a lot too. I got my playlist. It's called Angry Eyes. It's got a picture of Mr. Potato Head on it. But then a lot of times when I'm when I'm more just like either mellow or sad, I'll just listen to like some like Iron and Wine or some shit like that. Just something nice, like driving through the country, listening to that shit, and mellows me out a bit.
Actually, gotta pull up this song. It's one of the songs I added to our playlist, which, by the way, if you wanted to go onto our Instagram, you could find a link to the Terrible Tirades playlist that Paul started putting together, and we've all contributed to now.
I probably put too much music on there. I need to trim it back a bit. I think the rules are like, if you add songs, you can take them away, but just don't take away other people's shit that they added.
But I was.
You're gonna regret that when I finally
Yes,
get access to whatever this is. Is this on Instagram or?
There's no rules for
It's on
this. I
Spotify,
mean,
Bill.
it's
Oh,
already
well,
it's already a fucked playlist.
I posted the link to it on Instagram so people could check it out if they wanted. But regardless,
oh, that's what you'd said. Okay.
regardless of that, I added a song called "Bones in the Ocean," and the adaptation of the people that I listen to it from is the Longest Johns, which sea shanties. I like them. All right, shut up. But
Hey, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. I
I
listen to marches from the 1800s when I'm at the gym sometimes.
but regardless, like I added that song because at the time that was, I believe, Memorial Day weekend, and all I could think of were like, being in the army, the people that didn't make it back, and some of my friends, and so on. And so that song is about like a sailor who wants to see his comrades who fell, in battle in the ocean, and how he was going to take his own life in the ocean to go see his comrades. And then, it has a happy ending in the end of the song. But regardless, it's one of those songs that I listen to because, and it's really weird, but I hope you can understand what I'm trying to say. It made me feel bad, but in a good way. Like I felt like a little tinge of sadness, but like a good like I needed to feel that at the time. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Is that too emo?
For sure.
There's
Yeah.
a song like that. There's
Whole
this-
industry
for
for that.
me, the song by The Wonder Years. It's called Cigarettes and Saints, and it's about a guy that they knew who died. And even though the guy that the band knew and the guy that I knew, it reminds me of a guy in high school I knew who died. They like weren't similar at all. It just still really resonates for me. It has, plus with my like religious beliefs, it's about like an atheist view of, what happens when you die, and I'm like hoping that heaven is real and that your friend is there. So I
I'm
cry
sorry.
a lot listening
Pretty
to
deep.
that song. That's
I
one of
keep
the only
bringing
ones.
the emotions down. I'm not trying to. What was
Sorry,
the
what was the name
industry?
of what was the name of that again?
Cigarettes and Saints by The Wonder Years.
By Wonderwall?
Okay. Well, you should probably add that to the playlist.
Yeah.
How do you add to the playlist, by the way?
You have to be added as a contributor, and Paul has to do that. We'll talk about it after, Dale.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's
I'm
on the
gonna add a
Instagram.
song right now.
If anybody's listening and they want to check out some of these songs that we put on, go to Instagram, find a link, check it out. Christian. Oh wait, go ahead, Paul.
Oh, I was gonna say I just added a song now because Adam was making me think of like something kind of like religious-y, and this was like when I was transitioning to being from Christian to agnostic or whatever. I was watching a lot of Bill Hicks at the time, but then I also just remembered listening to Skin and Bones by Motion City Soundtrack, and that, I don't know, that one just really got me thinking about like, what if this is just it? We're gone, and then we're just fucking dust.
Like we're dust in the wind.
All we are is dust in the wind. Back to McDonald's episode.
Episode 3. You heard it here first.
So 3, Teedly-dee.
Now, fine,
All right.
Christian. I'm going to ask you this question that I've been wanting to ask. What industry were you talking about? That there's a whole industry about making songs like about what I was describing?
I mean, yeah, just that feeling of feeling sad, but in a good way. That's why a lot of people listen to the music they do. And of course, music and movies and stuff try to elicit that same feeling in certain emotional parts. It's addicting, kind of. I mean, I feel like I spend a lot of my time searching for sad songs so I can feel better, weirdly enough. A lot of people do that.
Yeah.
It's healthy.
Yeah, it is healthy. I think listening to music is healthy. There are some of those people
yeah.
out there that don't like music, which is always interesting to me. Nothing against them, whatever.
Yeah.
But that is very interesting.
I actually work with one of those guys. Like he doesn't like pretty much anything with lyrics in it at all. And
Big
I-
opera
I-
fan.
so his wedding song was like the Jurassic Park theme song, I'm pretty sure.
Hell yeah.
Like he likes that kind
I
of
don't
stuff,
know.
but he just like he thinks that like and I get where he's coming from at a point, but like maybe he's just heard the wrong music too much because a lot of shit just seems like it really like dumbs you down. It's just like easy, repetitive, catchy beats with no substance. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that. You know, people just want to dance the dance and not really think about it, and that's cool too. No shame, but I can get why people would hate on it at the same time.
Now I'm going to ask a series of questions here. I'm going to give each of you, I mean, you all have your own input on the scenarios. I'm going to give you all scenarios, and I need you all to provide me with your perfect choice of song. Now, it could just be orchestral, doesn't really matter. But for that moment or scenario, okay? First one, cross country road trip. First song comes to mind. What are we thinking?
Dope smoker.
Freebird.
Freebird. Nice.
And Freebird's a good one.
First thing comes to my mind is I would walk 5,000 miles. That's the first thing.
You know, that one popped into my head too, but I'm like, people are gonna find that annoying. Like,
Well, I don't care what other people think. Not even a little bit.
yeah, I don't even know. Like the Homeward Bound soundtrack. I don't fucking know, man. Like I'm drawing a blank right now.
There's so many, but I have to go with a song called "Holiday from Real" by Jax Mannequin. It's about going to California.
Very specific.
My
Very-
brother he's missing out on this podcast,
Hmm.
name dropping two bands that I feel like only he ever listened to.
Hey, speaking of your brother and bands, whatever happened to that with him? Wasn't he in a band? How's
Culture
that-
Thief. They still do things.
Yeah, you just had a
Yeah.
show like 2 weeks ago.
God,
No
Dale,
shit.
good times. Jesus.
Hey, I'm just glad to know that he's still doing his thing, man.
He's in like 2 bands, I think.
Okay, scenario 2.
Oh, yeah, scenario 2. Yep. I thought we were going to go further on that. All right. Going for a run. So you're going to go for a jog, a run, a walk, whatever. You're going to go do some exercise
Hmm.
outside. Where do you putting on the headphones?
Anything by Wu-Tang Clan?
It's a good one.
Is there gonna be a separate one for exercise, or is this all encompassing?
Yeah, does the gym and the run count as the same playlist? Because
No, I wouldn't say it does.
Is there gonna be one later for the gym?
I'm not going to necessarily say that there is or is not a gym question coming up, but I would say no, this is not. The run is separate from lifting weights because I'll tell you, like, if I'm going to go run or go bike or something, I'm completely different playlist than a lifting weights playlist.
We're
really,
gonna have to just say "Flock of Seagulls" in Iran.
A good one, goddamn.
This is
That is
generic as
good.
fuck.
That
but
is
it's a
very
good
good,
song.
though.
I like "Understatement" by Newfound Glory. It's very
Ooh.
fast, like energetic pop punk. Get you going.
Yeah.
There
Or
you
even
go.
All Downhill From Here would be good, I think.
It'd be good as well.
I might throw in the Ramones. Honestly, I've been on a Ramones kick. Like that's
Nice.
some
Nothing
good
wrong
music.
with some Ramones. I don't want to be a pinhead no more.
All right, well, we'll do the next one. Doing chores around the house. What do you listen to? You're doing some chores. You gotta go do the dishes. You gotta do laundry. You gotta vacuum. Whatever the case may be. Those are all the things I did today.
I ain't gonna lie. I usually listen to not music doing those things. That is the perfect venue for like podcasts and audiobooks and.
That's a valid answer. Like you
I
can
have
listen to
to listen to
terrible
music while cleaning.
tirades. Sorry, go ahead.
But I gotta listen to music while cleaning, or else I just can't do it. Honestly, I don't know what I'd put on. I just usually throw on my playlist, but I'll probably throw on an album and try and beat the chores before the end of the album.
Well, what
Oh.
album? What's your go-to with that?
That's an interesting method.
Whatever, just the top, just whatever's current.
Yeah. I feel like I don't really have a specific mood for that. I enjoy podcasts for that time too. But if it is going to be music, it's probably just going to be like some of my favorite stuff, and like put on some old 2010 stuffs like Knuckle Puck or The Story So Far, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna clean it to like The Devil Wears Prada or something. Dear Love, A Beautiful Discord. We'll go with that album.
I'd listen to
Don't
something
don't
from
ask why.
I would probably throw on a podcast. I have like 3 podcasts that I really like, but they don't put out episodes that often, so I'm usually caught up. So if I'm caught up on the podcast that I listen to,
Mhm.
I have a playlist on Spotify that is like bluegrassy country. So like Charlie Crockett, if you've ever heard of him, Chris Stapleton, he's a big one. A lot of people's heard of him. Tyler Childers, people like that. But I like that. It's like more laid back and bluegrassy.
I need the energy if I'm cleaning. I need something with energy.
Yeah,
think.
I just get into it. You know, those are songs that I can
Doesn't-
sing along to and
Yeah.
annoy my children with. So
I
Nothing
don't know.
wrong with
I
that.
would disagree. I need the opposite of energy when I'm cleaning, or I'm going to get antsy and not want to just keep doing the repetitive, slow-paced task of cleaning. Like
You're
I need
not
something
lazy
that's
enough.
long and sustained, and it's just going to keep on going the way I'm keep on going. That's why podcasts are good energy for that. If it's
Maybe
not
some-
podcasts, I don't know. Byzantine chants from the Valam Monastery. Those are pretty good.
That sounds pretty sick. What about some like
Yeah.
smooth jazz?
I'm a fan of some smooth jazz,
Yeah, same.
once in a long while.
Dale, I for some reason, I don't know why it sparked my memory just now. You introduced me back in probably middle school. I can't remember. You're gonna correct me immediately, but like the Red Russian Army Choir, I think is what it was.
Yeah, the Red Army Choir, the Alexandrov Ensemble.
Yeah, I you listen to that so much, and
Mhm.
so like anytime I hear that, I'm like, oh, Dale.
Listen, government-wise, economy-wise, communists were terrible. In terms of their music, though, fucking fire. Yeah, millions of people died with this song playing in the background, but bro, it slaps.
Okay.
Kalinka, Proshani Slavyanka, all the hits.
So we're going to skip over that and go into our next scenario. This one, high energy, right? We're thinking high energy. You're facing your high school bully. Okay,
Ooh.
whoever that asshole is that you have someone pictured in your mind. Okay, high school, middle school, whatever the case may be. Someone you're about to beat the living shit out of them. All right, I'm talking physical. I'm not talking you're going up there and be like dissing them or nothing. All right, no epic rap battles. You're up there about to knock their fucking teeth in. What are you listening to get yourself pumped up?
Hmm. Mm-hmm.
Throwing on Yeezus.
Throwing on that Yeezus, huh?
Throwing on the first 3 tracks of Yeezus. On Sight, Black Skinhead, and I Am a God, and I'm fucking ready to go. Ooh, let me see him.
I gotta go with the one of the songs I put on the playlist. "Get Good" by Darko. I don't know if it's Darko US or Darko Us. I say Darko US. It's a very short song. Let me read it to you. "Fuck boy, back up. Go get your money right. Go get your stacks up. I'm tired of living in the crosshairs, being caught under fire, being what they want me to be. I'm tired of living in the crosshairs, being caught under fire, being what they want me to be. I'm fucking over."
There's
Yeah.
got to be some high energy rap, like, and it doesn't have to be. The amigos at work have got me into some Spanish language shit. So, Cartel de Santos, Control Machete, just anything that's like real in your face, like battle rap would be great.
Battle rap.
So I think
Hell yeah.
when I think of that, like high energy shit like that, I of course this probably just shows about how white I am, but I'm thinking of like Eminem and like Rap God or Killshot. That those songs.
It's that energy.
specifically.
It's that energy, though. You're matching the energy. I'm digging.
Everybody's thinking rap. I'm
So-
thinking deathcore, I guess.
No,
I'm the
yeah,
weird
no,
one.
no, no. Mine's like yours. So it's gonna be like a tie between Boy Brush Red by Under Oath or Hey There, Mr. Brooks by Asking Alexandria.
I'd have to go with Mr. Brooks there.
Yeah.
Especially
Oh man,
the last 30 seconds.
I haven't heard Asking Alexandria since high school. I
I
think
just
I
heard
can't
Mr.
even.
Brooks not that long ago.
No shit.
Awesome.
It's a-
You guys
it's a
ready for
good-
the next one?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
this is fun.
All right, you're going. Let's say you're a famous YouTuber, whatever the case may be. You just had the biggest kill streak of your life on Halo 2. And you're making a montage. What song is in the background of this fucking amazing feat of yours? Biggest kill streak ever.
Fucking Blow Me Away by Breaking Benjamin. The most Halo 2 song ever made.
There you go. Frenzy, Screaming Jay Hawkins. That shit would be fire.
I'll just go with like 96 Quite Bitter Beings by CKY,
That's a good
which would also have been my workout song, but I don't know if you're going to do that, so I'm just going to use that card right now.
Scenario ruined. Way to go, Paul.
Sorry, I'm fucking up everything.
I think I would go old school on that one. I'd probably go like some old Metallica. I don't know, Master of Puppets or For Whom
Thank
the
you.
Bell
Someone
Tolls, something like
appreciates
that.
I like Metallica. I was just joking.
Yeah, me too. My brother actually doesn't like much Metallica. We were having a conversation about that. Doesn't love them.
So
can't
he's
accept
not allowed back on the podcast.
No,
Got
no,
it.
He's probably going to listen and be like, I do like Metallica. What the fuck?
Blackened is a good Metallica song, I will say.
I like whatever I have to like to get on there and explain to people carefully why Metallica sucks, is what he's thinking to himself. Yeah, I like Metallica, and then he gets on here. Yeah, that shit's gay. What are you talking about?
No.
All right. Gym music, Paul. That was literally the next one.
I
You're
knew
out
it.
there-
You
You're
fucked
about
up.
to pick up some heavy weights and put them back down, boys. What are we listening to?
Gym music. I'll just listen to like the fucking I'm gonna listen to Odyssey to the West, an album by Slice the Cake. It starts out like it's like a roller coaster of emotions. It gets to like the really heavy deathcore, but there's also some just like almost like poetic moments where he's just speaking, and then some very emotional singing, and it's just like a journey, like this pilgrim's journey to like find God, basically, and then basically just he doesn't. I don't think he either does or he doesn't, and he just like it's like it's just like maybe he's been betrayed by the world and just very angry and bitter, and much like myself. I probably explained that
that got
horribly,
deep,
but
man. Okay, so that
but
went into
Odyssey is to the
personals
West,
there.
Slice the Cake. Probably not a lot of people heard about. Listen to it. It's good. It's a good one.
Since I already mentioned Wu-Tang, if I'm lifting weights and Wu-Tang isn't what's bouncing in my ears, some Tyler the Creator, some Earl Sweatshirt, put that Wolf on, Igor, anything off O's is a pretty good thing to lift to.
Okay.
I think for gym energy, which granted I don't really know much about, I never work out, but I think I would like something that's like metalcore mixed with bouncy techno, to like some old Attack, or maybe Bill Murray, if you know who that is. Pronounced
M-
like the actor, but not spelled the same.
Oh, that's the guy from
This guy's
he was like the
from
singer
Attack.
from
Yeah.
Attack.
I think
Yeah,
he was
Bill
the bassist actually. But
Bill
yeah.
Murray's good. I put one of his songs on there. My
Yeah, I saw
feelings
that.
have feelings.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one.
About you, Christian? You want to pull that gorilla brain out and lift heavy things?
I would never have like predetermined. I would probably just like if I were to start working out right this second, trying to think of what I would throw on right now, and
Do it. Do it.
Ready to Die by Biggie Smalls, maybe.
Ooh,
I might throw in
it's
something
a tough
just
one.
high
Nice.
energy, just hard rap. You know what I mean? Just shit that's just really high energy and really aggressive thematically.
What about you, Sean? What you putting on at the gym?
For me, I don't think anything pumps me up more for the gym specifically than not necessarily war music, but music that I can envision myself in. So like kind of like a scenario based thing. So I love Sabaton, right? Because of their historical music, where they make music about battles, like legitimate battles that happened in history, and just I'm trying to think of more specific scenarios, but I can't.
Is that the one that you sent me a while back that you're like, listen to this in the gym and you will grow 3 more dicks?
Maybe, I don't know. But I love those. I love songs that I can envision myself actually like being the main character in.
Okay.
And whenever I'm in that specific like thought, or like that's my emotion, like I am this person that they're singing about, I can lift everything.
I don't know. When you said war music, my first thought was like, what are you listening to? La Marseillaise or La Chanson de l'Oignon? Are you listening to Poliushka Polye, like old 1800s
No,
marching music for
I will
peace battles?
I will add a lot of that music specifically to our playlist probably tomorrow when I'm in the gym, because I'll be going tomorrow.
Best war
I'll add La
music is
Chanson de l'Oignon.
Fortunate Son by CCR. Some
We were
good
talking
old
about that last
Vietnam
night.
tunes.
We were playing
That was playing
Holdfast.
at the gym today when I walked in, and I'm like, how topical.
Yeah, we were playing Holdfast last night. Me, Paul, and Dale, and someone who was playing Cavalry was blaring that into the voice chat and like going around trying to behead people.
I love it. It's beautiful. See, a good war music, like I said, this just puts you in the mood for killing the enemy.
Not podcast related, but you need to get on that Holdfast with us, Christian.
It's just fun. It's just a funny
I don't
game.
PC game.
He's got a Mac,
Oh, that's right.
and not a good one.
Hey,
That's right. Yeah. Oh, he doesn't have one. Oh.
Anyway, All right, we're wrapping it up. So before we wrap it up, I'm going to let everyone go around, round robin. Honorable mentions, music mentions that absolutely have to be said. For instance, I'm going to say all of the soundtracks for The Lord of the Rings.
Oh yeah.
Howard Shore just banged out masterpiece after masterpiece with that.
Like I know what we've been gearing towards has not been like orchestral music, but oh my gosh, like could you imagine watching Lord of the Rings without the soundtracks?
Oh, I know. What's even the point?
That'd be weird.
Yeah. So yeah, that's something that honorable mention. I didn't get it out into the show today or the recording. I had to say it because it was on my mind.
Nice.
So here's a question. I was thinking of that honorable mention. I'm like, you know what? Here's a band that I used to listen to a lot as a teenager that I look back on and think is just as good now as I thought it was then. Audio Slave.
That's good shit.
You know, Audio Slave
yeah.
was just legitimately really good music. And I got to thinking, what do you guys have any music that you were super big into in high school that looking back on it was actually really good music and you feel good about yourself
Well, that's
knowing
an
that
easy
you had
answer
some
for me.
decent taste?
It's easy answer.
My
All of
yeah.
it.
Yeah,
All of it.
that's all I still listen to. Really, same
I
genre.
don't know about all of it.
I have just I love it all, even the goofy stuff.
I remember
there
you
was a-
listened to A7X for a long time.
Oh yeah, I mean, great stuff. You know, I mean,
Oh
like
yeah.
you listen to Nickelback too, and I loved it.
I mean, I don't know if I could like. I never had any of their CDs, but I guess I used to think they were cool because other kids thought they were cool in like junior high school. Everybody was listening to ICP, and I thought that I had to pretend to like them to be cool. I don't think I would still listen to ICP. No offense to any juggalos out there. That's cool. Whatever. Like
Hey-
what you like, but nah, not really for me.
Dale,
No.
it's funny that you bring that up because in that same article that I referenced in the very beginning, literally the paragraph before the one that I referenced, it says memories stimulated by music often come from certain times in our lives. Most people tend to overly report memories from when they were around 10 to 30 years old. That is from a study. Psychologists have called it the reminiscence bump. Music from the reminiscence bump period can be associated with more memories than music from other periods in your life. Our teenage years and 20s are especially important and exciting times in our lives as we experience things for the first time. Music preference is also formed around the middle teenage years.
Interesting.
That's interesting because when I look at my teenage music taste, there's a lot that I'm like, ooh, I
Hmm.
did
You don't think it helps
what?
define your genre that you enjoy listening to now?
What genre
did.
are you talking about? All of them, do you mean?
Sure. I mean, if that's what you listen to, did you
I did.
have a base? So you had a base that you grew from
Mhm.
like you may not like the very specific ones now from your teenage years, but you
Yeah, that's true.
definitely branched off from what you grew to like in your teenage years. I'm not
Yeah.
fighting for this article. I mean, it
Yeah.
seems to be pretty
I
spot
mean,
on.
mine had many forms. You know, like I started out with like when I was a kid, I listened to like classical shit with my dad. Then I got into like some Linkin Park and that kind of shit. Then for the answer to your question, I would say like the other honorable mention, which was a big I think turning point for a lot of my taste was AFI Black Sails in the Sunset. That got me into like some like darker kind of punk. Probably transitioned me into emo because they kind of transitioned into emo themselves, which was also ultimately their downfall. But one other interesting thing is that when I started to get into heavier stuff, the first thing I remember listening to was As I Lay Dying. And I remember listening to that CD. I just bought it fresh off the Walmart bin. I listened to that at my grandma's house. I walked up the gravel road and I threw up. And I don't know, maybe I had some food poisoning, but at that point in my life, I was like, this music is so heavy, it made me fucking puke.
That's pretty good. Well, what about you, Adam?
An honorable mention or something that I'm ashamed of?
Both.
Whichever one you've thought of. Both.
Well, an honorable mention, I guess, would be, I don't know. I kind of want to say the Beatles. Just can't beat the Beatles in some ways.
Oh, yeah.
But
They founded a lot of modern music, really.
I
Mm.
think for me personally, I love Bon Jovi. That was like, I got into them. My sister got me into them when I was like 3-4 years old. And I've always loved a lot of their old, like, the 80s hard rock ballads.
I went through a
Love
Bon
that.
Jovi
Yeah.
phase as well.
As far as something that's changed, it's all the stuff I listened to in high school is what I listen to now. But that's because in like right before middle school, I discovered like Blink 182 on TRL and the Tony Hawk games, and that kind of shaped my music taste. But before that, I really loved the Spice Girls. I can't get down with that too much anymore. I mean, I'm not gonna say that they're like the worst band in the world, but I loved the Spice Girls when I was like 8 or 9.
Bro, I think we all had that at that age, though.
Yeah.
That was just that, mid to late 90s period.
Yeah.
Like, I would listen to the shit out of some Britney Spears, mostly because I was, like, trying to work out my adolescent feelings towards her big old tatas, I was like, there's something about this I like. I don't know if it's the sounds, but let's just say I have the album cover next to me when I'm listening to it.
I will say my first CD ever was because my parents had just bought me a CD player. I wasn't smart enough to think to ask for CDs as well. I was like, I got the CD player. I got to get something. McDonald's was selling
Oh no.
NSYNC Britney Spears combo CD. So that was my first ever CD.
Oh,
hey.
Got a little taste of both there,
I was a
First
huge
ever-
Backstreet Boys fan. I was like
So was I.
first grade, second grade,
Aren't we all?
third grade. Yeah, there's nothing better.
Yeah, we started that shit.
Was I.
I
Yeah.
still throw that shit on, man. It's good stuff.
Paul,
I'm
you
pretty
made
sure.
First CD was AC/DC Who Made Who. That was my first one.
I remember
Yeah.
that CD.
Yeah, I love
You
this.
win.
Yeah, I don't know. I
Wow.
stole my
Wow.
first CD from my cousin. Cousin Nikki.
Oh,
I stole Follow the Leader by Korn.
Oh, nice.
That was my first
Good one,
actual
Bill.
CD, and I listened to that until it actually broke and you couldn't listen to it anymore. Because Walkmans are not made to be
I
jostled.
was gonna say you make that sound like it was some like astronomical big thing. That the CDs fucking broke all the damn time. Like you could.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no. I would listen to it in the car, and then Ma would hit a pothole because it's West Virginia and be like, well, that song permanently has a scratch in it now.
Yep.
A handful of my first CDs, it's a blur. Other than the ones that were given to me, like I had the Backstreet Boys CDs and stuff, but ones that I sought and got the Guns N' Roses Greatest Hits, the first Audio Slave record, and Creed record. That's going all the way to Creed. I was obsessed.
Oh,
I wouldn't say
My
obsessed, but
my second ever CD was the Queen's Greatest Hits 1, 2, and 3. Loved. I played the crap out of that. I know who took those from me and never gave them back too. I'm still upset about it. No, it wasn't you.
What?
No, it wasn't you.
I always had the one that you weren't listening to.
Yeah, no, someone borrowed the whole set. Never gave it back. Anyway,
Really? Oh, miserable.
not Paul. Sorry, Christian. I think. Did you do an honorable mention or answer Dale's question
No.
about?
yeah, I used to do. I mean, I don't believe in guilty pleasures really. I mean, but I thoroughly enjoy everything I used to listen to, even the corny stuff. I'll defend it to my grave. But honorable mentions, I mean, there's just so much out there in the world of music. I can't even begin to. Free Kanye West. That's all I'll say.
This is only the
Free
tip of the
Kanye.
iceberg.
Yay for Prez.
Yeah. Did they give him his Twitter back yet?
I don't know.
I'm not up to date on any Kanye things. So
I am the Grobgolob.
all right. Well, does anyone have any last moment, very last thing to say that's not going to take up another 20 minutes of recording time?
The second CD I ever got was, I think, was Limp Bizkit $3 bill. I remember it was parental advisory. I could never buy that because my mom was super Christian. So I bought it from a kid in school, and I didn't have a Walkman at the time, so I had to listen to it very fucking low. But it was awesome.
Awesome.
On a side note to that, I think that break stuff could have been the answer to about 3 of those questions.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
I'm a huge Limp Bizkit fan. I love them still to this day. I listen to Limp Bizkit at least once a week on shuffle.
No shit.
Oh yeah, very unique. Fred Durst has an awesome voice.
I don't want to get too much into it, but I have to say it. So, like, that song specifically is in my own head as a, like, overplayed song. So anytime it comes on, I hit next. And nothing against the song. It's a great song. It's just one of those songs I'm like, overplayed, next. It's like song fatigue. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There are definitely songs on my gym playlist that I'm like, all right, I've been listening to this playlist for years and just adding to it, and now this one has come up enough that I'm just tired of it. It's still good. I'm not going to take it off the playlist. Once in a while, I want to hear it, but it's too much.
All right. Well, I am getting tired, so I think we'll call it. Thanks everyone for stopping by, and I hope you enjoyed the conversation. Check us out on Instagram if you'd like, and if you found today's episode entertaining, then why not check out some of our other great topics, like we just covered games, and we also have our wonderful conversation about how McDonald's fired us all, and then the second conversation that spawned off of that, you know, McComing Part 2, I think is what it's called. So find us on Spotify or whatever podcast listening app. I mean, if you made it this far, you probably found us somehow. So thanks again for listening, and have a great day.